think we're good. I think we're set up. I think we're in there. What's going on, guys? Yo ho! It happened. Not gonna happen, my niggas. So we're spiraling out of control with this shit. 311 came with that fucking fire. At the end of 310, we got that big ass cliffhanger of the assault on Elizabeth. It was thwarted. Merlin came through as we saw in the beginning of the chapter, which wasn't too like I wasn't sure exactly what was going on because it seemed like there was some blood there. But I guess yeah, she did get tipped. We saw that part right there. So, before we hop into that shit, let me pass out this link real fast because we live. Because we gotta get the word out about the greatness, about the fucking my nigga. Like Taizai did his thing this week, bro. Taizai did his fucking thing this week. This seems like old Nakaba, and I'll explain why I say that in a second. Let me drop this quick fast. Alright, one second. That's all niggas. I'm gonna hop in Discord and shit, so whenever we stream or do videos or whatever and shit, come through or whatever, and we talk all day about all kinds of shit in there. So just trying to slide through for that. Alright, here it is. Alright, we added it. Alright, bet. That's right. So here it is. So we come through. Alright, so how do I start this off? This chapter was fucking spectacular. This is like old Nakaba writing. Now, when I say that, the quality of Nakaba's old writing in the beginning, it was a lot more about like complete stories. Whether it was Bond's like backstory, how his shit started off, finding out things like that. That was really, really good storytelling when we got it. All the introductions of characters like that, how he introduced characters and their positions in the story. So basically, we were at a point where like no longer were we gonna get those short stories or those quick resolutions or those quick intros anymore like we did in the beginning. It's like the weird things or whatever. Like now we're in a larger storyline with the commandments or whatever, and then now with the angels, and then now so with the Demon King. For a long time now, we haven't had a chance to like break down the storytelling for like Nakaba to tell us a complete tale in a small portion, and he did that. And this chapter was fucking amazing for it. Like throughout since the beginning, since CUSACK and Chandler arrived, we didn't really necessarily understand their exact role in the situation, besides them being like exceptionally like obsessive over Meliodas and ZELDRIS. And it's like to a weird extent. Like we even like throw out homophobic jokes and shit about it. So whenever basically that's the information. That's like the meat, the sprinkling, the nice intro or whatever that he's giving for us, right? So then this chapter, he connects all of it. Did you guys notice the Demon King doesn't like tell them that he loves them or there's no affection like that whatsoever? That's always associated with like the big bad situation, but this is Taizai. I'm not gonna pay attention to those types of things, and like he addresses that on purpose. So I got to position the pieces so you see where I'm coming from as to why this chapter is so great. So we have the Demon King, who's a father who doesn't love his kids. It seems like there's no connection there. He doesn't have any affection for them. He wants one to become the next ruler or whatever because he wants to really take his body, quote unquote. So no affection there. There's no love lost there. And the other one, he's just using him. Never had any intention of doing anything, and he was kind of using him to like basically mold the other one for perfection. Just heading there on the side, doing his bidding and shit. So you get those two pawns there, right? And then you get the Demon King. So CUSACK apparently is a created being of the Demon King. Now we don't know what kind of spell he did to actually spawn them. The properties of the spell, what is it detailed? We don't know. Maybe we'll find out later on. I'm not sure. But check this out. He creates them. They sin, they get split into two. So they can't sin together again. They can't do that. But it happens. So I found it really weird that we can match the obsession of these two guys, who they're matched up with in terms of who they have to take care of, Meliodas and ZELDRIS. And then they tell us, especially at the end of this chapter, that these feelings as if you were my own child. These feelings were implanted into me by the Demon King. There it is. CUSACK and Chandler represent the Demon King's love for Meliodas and ZELDRIS. Yeah. That shit is fucking crazy, my nigga. Like, to be able to thread that there, like, it wasn't the biggest of fucking plot lines, but like, he's been running it along. And for like, to him to thread that in there like that, like, this is masterful, man. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, hold on, let me check the chat. There's somebody in the chat. All right, it's just DK right now. Oh, what's up, Tua? Like, it's so hard to like. This is fucking amazing, bro. And in the same chapter, explaining all that, dropping that big ass reveal and shit, that the Demon King does indeed love his sons, or had extreme love for his sons, but he is represented in CUSACK and Chandler. What hope is there, for him, in particular, the Demon King? So let's go to CUSACK first before we address that. So CUSACK, as we know, the obsessive one, has the love for ZELDRIS of his father or whatever, and he does everything for them. They get their ass bust by fucking Mayo's greater son or whatever, greater cruel son, and then they fucking survive it. Then they see the 10 Commandments floating there and shit, and then Chandler's like, we got to get it to Meliodas, and then I was just like, no, it's it. That's fucking done. And out of the two, he's the one that seemed the more treacherous from the beginning, but you could see Chandler's desire and obsession just as much as CUSACK's, but he didn't show any signs of like obvious treachery like that. Not too crazy, besides the random attacks or like attacking Elizabeth, shit like that, small little shit. But I expected that much more from CUSACK, and he finally did it. Huge ass step. Betrayal seems common amongst the demons. ZELDRIS, Meliodas, now CUSACK. The CUSACK and Chandler originally themselves. It's I guess it's a common thing, or like, no love lost amongst that race or whatever. So that's fine, just about stacking it up. Regardless of that, CUSACK did it. And we get his will. He called it his will. He's gonna live out his will. Like, not his bro, like, he just did such a good job of like characterizing this chapter, man. Like, he made me feel for CUSACK, like a person who had talked shit about, a person who wasn't really connected to us as like readers, like a person of two who we complained that they got defeated too easily in the Big Six fight. In one chapter, Nakaba made me connect to this nigga. Like, that's fucking like that shit badass, bro. That's fucking badass, bro. So he says he's gonna live out his will. And as we know, his will is the will of the Demon King, his father, the love that he has for ZELDRIS. And he does everything for him, bro. He literally gives him the power so he can see him, have success and reign and shit. He really, truly did desire that. And it was ZELDRIS who was screaming no. And then that shit happened. Like, that nigga's face, bro, he was crying and shit when he saw him. Like, he had really satisfied like his desires, his will to live his life and shit. And then they killed that nigga, bro. Fuck, dog. Bruh, like, CUSACK, bro. So now we're back at this point. We were complaining about the final fight before up against the Demon King initially, taking over Meliodas' body. Blah. It wasn't what we wanted, right? Quick, wasn't too flashy and shit. Mental, physical battle, whatever. You know the circumstance. He wasn't defeated. Speculation, we were talking about it. We were thinking about it. People were saying that the commandments were still with Meliodas, that they weren't with Meliodas. that the Demon King's still in purgatory, that he's not still in purgatory, it's confirmed. The Demon King is still in existence, and he's still trying to possess bodies, and he's still capable of possessing a body as strong as ZELDRIS. Even though he was in an injured state, even though the commandments were forced within him, the Demon King has a vessel now, and it's not. We'll let it be addressed. We'll let Nakaba himself tell us if it's an inferior vessel, but his design looks fucking badass. That at least. I'm okay with the Demon King being continuously the final villain. It wouldn't be enough of a threat if it was ZELDRIS. We've surpassed all those other threats. It's really just Meliodas now. Meliodas and apparently Bond are the only ones that can really contend. Supreme Deity, maybe even King, but like, I just don't know, man. It would have to be one of the big guys for Meliodas to really have a challenge. So I think it's only fair and it only fits that the Demon King's the one to do this. Now his ability to possess, that's fucking crazy. Like, we're not talking about like possessing fucking like regular humans and shit. We're talking about, or even holy knights, great holy knights. We're talking about possessing two of the strongest beings in existence. The leader of the demons, as we thought, presumptively, like 5 chapters ago after the Big Six fight, the strongest demon, ZELDRIS, out there. Aside from Meliodas himself. And then the actual, the up next to be the Demon King, Meliodas. The one that's been badass since the entire story. Fucking destroyed fucking Danafor in one effort. Like, so to be back at this point, it makes sense. The Demon King should be the final villain. Now the problem is, what are we gonna see from him? ZELDRIS put out some crazy ass shit. He's gonna be using ZELDRIS techniques, then I'm bad. I'm down with that. But the Demon King didn't use much of Meliodas' techniques when he was in that form. So I'm wondering how unique he's gonna be. I don't want it to be a copy of Meliodas' Demon King possession techniques, where he gets the fucking sprouts again, and then where he's like doing those random like just smashing and shit, not really like doing much. It was all right because Bond was there giving him a physical hand-to-hand tussle, which is cool. But like, I wanted to see more attacks, more techniques, more different shit, more flying around, more jumping around, different shit out of stationary stance. So this instance allows us to redeem a lot more of that. And when I say redeem, it's because we previously had an ill idea of it. The story wasn't over. This isn't like Nakaba didn't have this plan still. He could have most definitely had this plan still, but I guess forever will have been speculation unless they address it officially. So this is gonna be fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. All the sins are there. They're all healed up. They're all ready. They're all suited up and shit like that. And ZELDRIS is in existence. They're gonna be able to feel him. They were able to feel Meliodas immediately, so they're gonna be able to feel ZELDRIS, who's now become a candidate of the Demon King throne, and they're probably gonna fight for it. That's gonna be fucking badass. ZELDRIS and Meliodas fighting for it. Could this be a stance or an instance where Meliodas, no, he has too much power. He's gonna have to leave regardless, even if he wins. But if ZELDRIS wins, he'll leave too. So I was gonna say it could be a thing where like ZELDRIS could take the place of being the next Demon King and have to leave, but Meliodas doesn't. That could be the final resolution. But maybe one of them will have to die. Any of them will have to leave regardless. I'm not sure. Ooh. It could get really like because it's all of them. It's all the sins. And we just saw Bond and Meliodas do that thing to him already in Meliodas' body. So I'm like, but here's the problem. There was a mental struggle there. As I mentioned before the beginning of the video, there was the mental struggle and the physical struggle. And they don't have the priority they don't have the advantage of that like mental struggle to assist in that situation. So they should be at more of a disadvantage now, or the Demon should have more of an advantage now because he doesn't have to fight through his head. Because that was half the reason why he was like, having so much trouble dealing with both sides because he was split. So I don't know, man. Just not like that initial thought. I could see it being even, like an actual even toss up, but I'm still trying to find reasons as to why Meliodas shouldn't just be stronger than the Demon King. He doesn't have the Ten Commandments anymore, but he does have his original power, I guess that's there, or whatever this instance is. But this has to be the form of the Demon King. That's what it is. This isn't some special other thing, or maybe even it's not his original power, but like that form only came to be when he became the Demon King, in possession of the Demon King with the Ten Commandments. So I'm going to attribute that form to that, but he doesn't have the commandments anymore, and he can still attain that. So it's because of the massive power that he has, I guess. I'm not sure. The possession is gone, the commandments are gone, and he can still hold it. I'm not sure what that form is exactly. It could be his original form. It could be. It's gay if it is, but I'm not sure. Original power, excuse me. Bro, like this is another big one, bro. What was it? Fucking Escanor versus Estarossa was one. I believe it was one. Escanor versus Meliodas was one. Meliodas versus the Ten Commandments was one. These were all moments where like we had to stop as a community and be like, Nani? Like in the anime community too, like whenever Estarossa versus Escanor was going on, like niggas stopped. Like everybody stopped and looked. It was like, oh, the niggas from the Fade, oh, Escanor from the Fade, shit like that. Whenever Escanor from the Fade, so it happens. But in particular, we met up to do streams whenever the one fought. Yeah. The one versus Meliodas, niggas stopped, had to stream for that shit. So this is another instance of that. Meliodas is gonna do that thing to fucking ZELDRIS, but ZELDRIS looks like a fucking monster, and I want him to put in that fucking work. How even the fight will be, I don't know. What'll be the deciding factor that wins? I don't know. I hope it's not some like emotional shit where like because they're brothers, one of them like lets him be or whatever. Because Meliodas has been sobbing and speaking about all the wrongs that he's done for his brother, and that above all else he wants to right that wrong. He's mentioned that several times, so I could definitely see him sacrificing himself in order for his brother to live. ZELDRIS becoming the next Demon King in the death of Meliodas. I can see that. If that don't mean that ZELDRIS gets to live, I think Meliodas would do that. Give up everything. Give up Elizabeth. Give up Elizabeth so ZELDRIS can live. But Gelda's alive, so that makes me think like that we have the components available for a happy ending for both pairs, and that's what happens sometimes. And I don't see ties as like a super. It's tragic. Trust me, it's tragic as fuck. But like in this scenario, I'm not seeing the final outcome being that tragic and shit, or being that disappointing. I'm not sure if it'll be disappointing. I don't even know how I would feel about that stance. I currently don't know. But like, I do want it to be something that's not like stereotypical and shit. I don't want it to be like ZELDRIS and Gelda and then Meliodas and Elizabeth just fine right after and then just go up on their way. Like they can stay on Earth and shit like that. Like no, something has to happen where like the consequences are gonna hold the shit that we're talking about right now. So let me see what these things are saying in chat. So Ballista, Meliodas has his original power, the power of destruction. Simon says, have we seen Meliodas destroyer yet? Seb says, what's up, Seb? I only see one person able to kill this ZELDRIS himself. He will reject the Ten Commandments or suicide if Gelda is involved. Oh, wow. I don't know about that, man. That's crazy, man. Oh, shit. I don't know, man. We'll see what this can like unravel into, because there's a lot more that like Nakaba can do that would be like really efficient. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know. I don't know what he would do. I don't know how to like make better twists from the point that I'm at right now besides the all out brawl. What are you gonna bring in the deity halfway through this fight? Like, I don't know. It would make sense, two beings of this power, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. But anyway, though, that was it for the discussion. We might do a board chat later on. I'm just waiting for Naya to hit me up or some shit like that. Because this chapter was about ZELDRIS, so I want to hear about his opinion about it. Stay tuned for more Tie content. I might do some special videos. I'm working on and I'm on this monstrous anomaly video for Taizai, and I'm hoping that they all come out good. So we'll see how that is. Like the video, guys. Subscribe, and we'll see you boys next time. Man. Yo ho ho!